Hello everybody, welcome to Crafty Soup. My name is Misty. I am doing a bit of an update of shares of projects that I haven't shown anywhere else. So let's take a look at this big stack that I have, most of it's off camera, and see what I've got going on. We'll start with this stuff here on top. Now these cards I made back in March at the Crop and Create card making event, and they inspired me, and you can see I already was thinking along these lines, to make some Mother's Day projects to send off to friends. And so with all the products that I got, both this was all the products for this particular project. These flowers came with another class project in that event, so I mixed and matched the two, and I came up with a couple of more Mother's Day cards to send off to friends. So those need to go out in the mail today, or probably tomorrow. It's probably too late by today. I have a couple of special things that I'm going to save for a little bit later. Let's just go through the stack of layouts at this point. Let me see if I can make a little more room. So as you know, International Scrapbooking Day was that just last weekend? I guess so. The time is going by fast. Let me get this on screen. There we go. I made a whole bunch of layouts for International Scrapbooking Day. This one actually I just finished up today because I had started it. And these layouts were made using, and I'll just put all three of them. Oh, they're not going to all fit on screen. So this one, let's see, let's start them in order. We've got Moving Day, where my daughter moved into her first apartment. And then I have a little bit of info about her new place, and then a little bit of a story about how hot it was and how much we needed a lunch break after helping move before doing part 2 of the move. So these were all made with the page kits that I built for May. And while I call them page kits, I did end up getting, I added in one piece of cardstock, and I did end up getting 3 layouts out of one page kit. So that is pretty good. Oh, I need to put my notes back on. These are notes that I keep when I plan projects. And most of the time I usually tuck these away, but I have been losing track of things lately. So I am needing to keep these notes attached to my projects so that when I go to put them away, I've got an easier job getting them where they need to go. This was more International Scrapbooking Day, and I did this as a demo for the Counterfeit Kit group, which I'm on the design team for. And this was using multi-font titles as well as using 3 photos. And so I've got that one going on. And I really enjoyed doing this arc and this ribbon. Now, yes, I did have a video up on this one. Sorry. This one had a video, but from that same page kit, I got this layout and I added in some embroidery floss and some silver thread because this one was demoing some stitching. And so I got that second. Now this is 8.5 by 11. So I still got 2 layouts out of one page kit, and I still have bits and pieces left over. Okay, that one. And again, this was, I got one 12 by 12 and one 8.5 by 11 out of one page kit. This one was up on the CKC blog, but I haven't shown it here. And this is actually a big pull-out journaling bit. So if you like to write more or hide your journaling that has personal details on it, that is a good way to do it. And I've actually never made one that was kind of that shape before, so that was kind of interesting. Not much else to say about that besides I did gut the paper, but instead of using the cutout part or covering up the cutout part, I used the outside edge as a border, and I popped it up on, you probably can't see it, on some adhesive, and it gives it a different dimension, which is kind of frames it out. So that's interesting. And then this one was just pretty simple. I did some more stitching with that silver floss. This one was for the Layout a Day project, and if you don't know what any of these projects are, I will have links down for you below. But this one definitely used leftover bits from that one. Let's see, this is, here's another, let's go this way. Another Layout a Day project, and this was based on something fun in your life. So I've got this random dance party with my magical disco iridescent letters. So this is just a story about how sometimes we'll put on Shakira and do some dancing in the living room. Let's see. This was, well, both of these are load layouts. I don't remember what the prompt was for this one necessarily. Maybe I didn't do a prompt because I know I had found what I was cleaning, and I had found most of this stuff sitting on my desk as a halfway done project from Christmas of 21. Of course, I don't think I was working on it at that point in time. It was probably something I was working on a few months ago. In fact, I know it was because I designed this cut file. So this was a cut file back from December probably. So that's probably when I was working on this layout, and I'd abandoned it and forgotten about it. So that is a Christmas layout that I posted to the Load Challenge. I haven't been on track every day with Load this year, but I'm trying to get back into it. I've missed 3 days, I think. So my layout a day is partially a layout a day. This one was really based on the theme from Load, which is kind of Jim Henson and the Muppets. And so I was having fun with inking up and using fuzzy felt for my title. And those were all things that kind of reminded me of Muppets. And then I tried making my own Muppets, and they're not amazing, but it was a silly idea. So that is that. This one is back to some counterfeit kit stuff, and I believe I did this one on International Scrapbooking Day also, but it is definitely from my counterfeit kit for the month. And this was from the International Scrapbooking Day because we just extended the process. We have a bingo challenge. Let me see if I've got my bingo card. Yes, indeed. So the Counterfeit Kit group for International Scrapbooking Day did a bingo challenge, and you can use up to 2 spaces on your bingo card on one layout, which I tend to do since I often do most of the things anyway. And we just extended the deadline because there are a couple of prizes. The first prize is for the first person to claim a bingo, and how you do that is take a photo of your bingo card with your layout and say specifically in the notes that you have a bingo, and that the first person to claim that gets a small gift card prize. And then the second prize is for the first person to have a blackout. Of course, I don't qualify because I'm on the team, but I have been playing along with the bingo challenge, and you get to fill in the prompts on your bingo card in any order you want. And despite being able to fill them in any order I want, I have still failed to get a bingo because when I'm looking at my projects, I just decide what has my attention at the time and what I can use on that project. And so far, they haven't filled out a bingo. So that is International Scrapbooking Day over at the Counterfeit Kit Challenge and our bingo activity and prize. So if you don't know about CKC, go ahead and check the links below. Fun, free group, totally free, just for fun, and nice. Everybody over there is really nice. So you should go check that out if you don't know about it yet. Speaking of which, I was the hostess for the group last month. Each month we rotate hostesses to put on the activities for the month. And this was one sample I had of using up scraps from your kit so that you don't have to refile them or put them away. And I just made simple tags and little paper ribbons. So I have yet to do something with this background, but it will probably come in handy during Load. This was a project that I wasn't entirely thrilled with. I was not having a good day and things were not going well. I didn't like there was too much similarities to the pattern papers. I wanted more contrast between these. This was based on a triangular sketch. What I did like about this is, I don't know if it's going to read very well, but when I've been taking photos of this layout, the gray inking that I did behind the photos really looks like a drop shadow. And I don't know if I leave it down here on the table if you get that sense, but the still photos really make that gray look like a drop shadow. And that was a very unintended, unexpected effect. And that part I really liked about the layout. But I've got, my stories on there, my stories told. I did practice some more with my hand lettering skills. I did have a video for this one. Yes, I did, because this was part of a mixed media hop. So that one is on my channel already. Sorry about that. Let's see, before I move on to the bigger projects, I have been totally obsessed with these project dies from Concord and Ninth, and they are called, I'll put the links down below, but pop-up store and pop-up shop front or something along those lines. I cannot remember, but they come with bits and pieces to create. You can see the dimension here. I've created little easels so that they will sit on my shelf, because I'm not going to turn these into cards and send them out because they take hours and hours, but they do have this dimension to them, and they do fold, assuming I haven't done mine up in a way that I can't. They do fold flat so that you can put them in the mail, but there's various little shop themed sets of stamps and dies, bakery, this one's the bookshop, flowers, clothing, all of that stuff. So one of the sets had a bicycle in it, and I decided to create a bike shop, and you can see through the shop windows, there we go, that's some better lighting, some bicycles hanging up, and I made my own sign for a bike shop, and this little awning is part of the set and the kit. And again, this one, despite the awning, this one can fold flat and go in the mail. But I am just making these to set them up on a little display shelf, because I've been putting on my audiobook and just die cutting, gluing. But they're just so dang cute. And this one actually I created, this did not come intentionally like this, but I created some hinges so that the door would open. So you can, okay, that's enough of that. I'm a little obsessed with those. So the other thing that happened in April that I didn't do much of, that I want to talk about a little bit, was the Crop and Create scrapbooking event. So now I did the card making event in March, and the scrapbooking event was in April. I've only worked on a few of the projects because this project, even though it was a mini class, it was a full mini album. And because I have a very specific story in mind that I want to tell, it's a very long-term story that has lots of parts and pieces to it. And as you can see what the title is there, this took me a long time to get through, because I'm making all these notes along the way of all of these things that I want to make sure kind of follow through the story. So this took me a long time, and it's got lots of interactive elements in it. So, extra tags and things. So that took a long time. And then also from that same event was this documenting project, which is like a year-long documenting project, but I am turning it into kind of a lifelong project, because I'm going to give it as a gift with a whole bunch of family photos in it that span a very long period of time. As you can see, I'm starting back in 1999. So this is going to be a gift that goes out to a family member at some point, but trying to shift from an annual kind of documenting to a lifetime of documenting. It was a little bit of a challenge, so that has taken me quite some time to get through, not to mention just cutting everything apart and getting it all assembled. And I'm pretty much following most of the instructions for the assembly. Now that I've got it to this step, I will probably move bits and pieces around. But at any rate, that has been what has been keeping me really busy. I haven't had as many videos out because of this, and also we've had some not rainy cold weather lately, some nicer weather, so I have been working in the garden a little bit. And I know one of you asked for a little update of the garden, and maybe I'll be able to get to that after I pull a few more weeds. It's fairly under control. I just have one section that is just problematic. At any rate, that is it for me for today. I will be back tomorrow with the layout process video. And so until next time, have an artful day.